Israel bars UN Secretary General from the country amid escalating tensions. Global Affairs Analyst Ejike Okpa joins me now from Dallas in Texas. Good to have you join us, Mr. Okpa. Now, criticized by Israel for failing to condemn Iran's attack, Antonio Guterres has now apologized. But do you see that changing Israel's stance on banning him from entering the country?
Thank you for having me. What Israel has done, banning Guterres from entering the country is to show you that the UN is not an effective organization. If it is a country where every member nation has signed up to respect the intentions of the UN, obviously he should have had a free entry, but obviously that didn't happen. If Israel decides to change their position, that is, to be seen. But every country is entitled to defend themselves. It's just that the UN, as we know it, and as many other countries have seen it, it's a useless organization. Excuse my use of that word. But that's what it is.
Don't you see a point in what Israel said about the fact that, yes, Antonio Guterres went ahead to call for a ceasefire without necessarily condemning Iran's about 180 ballistic missiles on Israel?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Israel is entitled to do what they have done, and then Mr. Guterres, whether it is an act of omission or commission, didn't do that. And so he's got an egg on his face. He's got an egg on the UN, that the General Secretary didn't, prepare himself for a statement or a conduct that would have avoided this shameful, banning of him coming into Israel. Now, if he goes back to retract it and said, hey, yeah, I should have, is medicine after death. The damage is already done.
All right, then. And we are actually seeing a further escalation of the conflict across the Middle East. As it is now, Lebanon and Iran are becoming active participants in this war. What is the implication of this?
Well, I wish I know what the implication is, but the implied feelings is that it's going to lead to, now, who knows, it could be an outright war. Iran back in Lebanon, and then Israel retaliating, because Lebanon is north of Israel, and then Israel has already said that their missiles can reach Iran. Who knows? But again, it goes to show that, for all the past efforts and current ones, and UN General Assembly just ended, and this is going on, it makes you wonder, what is the purpose of UN? How can we not find peace or a resolution for what is going on between Israel and their neighbors? Nobody has an answer. But I think if America were to be bold enough and confident enough and said, we are going to pull out of this stuff, maybe Israel will rethink. But until America says that, it's not going to happen, because, again, I have said this in a different platform and your platform as well, that the Jewish Americans, they have the pull on American politics. They have the media, they have the money, they know how to rally for causes, because anytime, you say anything against Israel or the Jews, it's anti-Semitic. They are the only one that have gained that. But if you say anything about Africa, who comes against you for whatever. So they have cultured that sentiment, and every one of us, falls in line, because if you say it, they can destroy it, even when you say in the fact. So how come Israel, a tiny country physically as it is, with a population it has, the sort of strength to be able to stand up to the rest of the region, and they're doing it successfully. People are getting killed, buildings are getting destroyed. At the end of it, guess what? It's going to be American companies and Jewish companies that are going to go there and rebuild it. And where is the money going to come from? From America's taxpayers. Mm-hmm. So after the fight is the profit.
All right, Ms. Chopper, and now that you've spoken about the U.S., both the U.S. and UK have said they were involved in supporting Israel after Iran launched the ballistic missiles on Tuesday night. What's your reaction to that? And do you see an end in sight to this conflict?
No, I don't see an end in sight. And then, of course, UK and US, they are into partners, one backs the other. Once supports the other. And then, of course, again, every country has the right to defend itself, to retaliate after getting attacked. Whether that is provoked by them or provoked by the outsider, every country should defend themselves. So we don't know what's going to happen with this. Iran, strong enough to withstand, UK, US, Israeli defenses against them? We don't know. You see what North Korea is doing. That tiny country has been able to stand up to anybody. So we never know what resources that enables other people to attack. It's just going to be life and properties that are getting destroyed. And at the end, the egos are still going to be there. The presidents, you see Netanyahu when he was over there at UN, he had an army of people around him. What kind of life is that? Why can people live life, in a way that they don't have to have security around them? Nobody knows where he sleeps. But because, his life, people are trying to get him or get to him. And the same thing for the other people. Thank you.
And importantly, the people actually need a respite. Global Affairs Analyst Ejike Okpa, thank you for talking to us on World Now.
Thank you for having me.